Muzungus, the broader implications of their corrupt but very self-righteous approach to governance in Africa, because Muzungus, don't forget, they keep on yapping and telling us how they are going to take us from here to heaven, but they prefer the status quo. They prefer corrupt regimes, which is why Africa has remained where it is. I saw yesterday Dr. Alfred Mutua going to Rome saying that, oh, we are meeting investors. I don't know where. Which industries have Italians invested in Kenya other than the tourism industry, which basically supports them because the tourism just goes there? How much money has Italy as a government provided to Kenyan projects? And I'm talking about serious infrastructural projects. What have they done? Nothing. But here they are the ones who make the biggest noise. You see the Muzungus and the West in particular, other than now funding NGOs, making noise about LGBTQ and whatnot, they've not done anything else in this country. You think about it. Think about, I was trying to illustrate to someone last night how Muzungus, when they come to Kenya, even the TikTokers, even the younger ones, have you seen them interacting with middle-income friends, with middle-class friends? No. Muzungus, once they come to Africa, because this is a training, this is their curriculum of education, that once you come to Africa, it's a hostile place, it's a backward place, so if you're coming to appropriate, to steal, they are more than happy to meet the high level. So they meet the president, they meet the ministers, they meet the senior government officials, because they are gaining that way, because they are coming to influence, to bend processes. They want to bend the laws to favor them and to suppress domestic producers and manufacturers, domestic farmers, so that we can be condemned to importing their garbage. So I was telling somebody that Muzungus will do this when they are coming to Kenya. They'll meet the high level, and then now there are others whose brains have been tuned for philanthropy. So, and then, in Kenya, we have the poverty industrial complex. We have the NGOs which masquerade that Kibera has 3 million people and whatnot. So even you saw Jill Biden, when she came, the first place she was taken was Kibera, because it's the poverty industrial complex. So now you have that. It's easier to get a Muzungu to donate philanthropically, or because of he's been touched, his emotions have been triggered through such gestures of poverty, just showing poverty. Like now, those kids of Uganda, the ones who dance, immediately they were platformed in BET. They went to the highest stage of entertainment. But to get now local entertainers of a middle caliber to go on that platform, you can never. So you can only appeal to the Muzungus if you are on the highest and if you're on the lowest. Look at even all these TikTokers. There was this family with the families that were staying. They were giving away money. You remember during COVID, there were Black American family. They would just go, not to engage, because that guy, I think, had made money from crypto. He would not engage with other young Africans to empower them with the tools and the knowledge, but he would go and give philanthropy. He would go somewhere and meet Mama Mbogas somewhere in the streets of Nairobi and give them money in envelopes. You remember that garbage. So that is that. And even Kenyans in diaspora who stay there long enough, because this is a system which has been tried and tested. Like in Nairobi, look at all the diplomats. Have you ever seen them engaging or maintaining relationships with ordinary Kenyans? No. In fact, over the weekend, is Masai Mara, is where within 1 year they've traveled more than even the ordinary Kenyan. And then now they go where they are told, because these are can we say bootlickers of the system. They claim that they want to leave the matrix, but they are so entangled in the matrix. Every morning, companies like KK Security give a security forecast, and they say, don't go here, don't visit here. Their governments tell them travel advisories. They listen to them, and the government tells them, don't do this, don't go here. Essentially, they are not putting in black and white, but they are being told, don't mingle with locals. If you're going to mingle with locals, then make it's your experience in the poverty industrial complex, so that you can have something to do your thesis or to just something. Yeah. So we were talking about Muzungus, like now. So now Mutua is in Italy. What has Italy? Italy makes more from us, from the religious degenerates who tithe to the extremely wealthy Catholic Church, and all the money is repatriated to to Vatican, which is conclave in the Rome, in Rome. So Italy makes more from Kenya. It's almost like looking at the domestic debt system. When William Ruto was in the States, he signed a deal. Americans, have they ever launched a road? Have they ever built an airport? They've not done anything. In fact, airports are built by the Chinese, and then Americans come to give standards. For instance, when we were having the direct flight, the Delta, I don't know, it was coming direct, and KQ was being certified to fly direct. They disrupted our airport. Suddenly you can't drop people out there, and we used to. Suddenly the cars can't park there. Because of what? Because of they just come to give us lectures, do this, do that, with money that we have gotten from somewhere else or we have generated ourselves. But because of the colonial legacy, because many people are inherently stupid, like the boomers are easily manipulated by the Muzungu sentiment, because they are still offshoots of colonialism. When I look back and I look at all the Muzungus I've met, none who ever wanted to empower me genuinely. They either wanted to exploit me, they either wanted to underpay me. When I think back at all the Muzungus I've interacted with, I don't have good fond memories of any. Because they are exploiters, these useless pieces of shit. You are the guys who foist them, put them on a pedestal where they shouldn't be. Yeah, there was somebody who posted a very nice article about the All Africa Games. So in Kenya, were to host the 1992 All Africa Games, but due to the poor economy and of course the attempted coup, it didn't happen. It was pushed forward to 1986, and even with the help of the Chinese who built Kasarani Sports Center, it was still pushed forward to 1987. An American called Dick Berg just walked or flew in from nowhere and claimed that he could market the games and raise 220 million shillings. The then minister, Henry Kosgei, deliberately or not, without carrying any background due diligence checks, gave this man the contract and a 2.2 million shillings down payment fee. Don't even imagine that 220 million shillings was a small amount of money. Wasn't a small amount of money during those days. It was equivalent to the whole of the Kenyan annual budget. So this Dick Berg conman was to bring Jermaine Jackson, Michael Jackson's brother, as part of the marketing strategy. But as soon as he received the, actually it was a 22 million down payment, he disappeared into thin air. The games, however, were staged, but there was an incident in football where there was a blackout, and the game, we were playing Kenya versus Malawi, and the game was postponed. So Moi was such an idiot that when he saw that Malawi was at the forefront, they switched off the lights. They switched off the lights, and what you're celebrating, like the AFCON, you don't understand that it is another opportunity for Muzungu depravity to be highlighted, to the cracks to widen, because now the contracts will be given. They'll be given to politically connected, people, and these people continue stashing their proceeds of crime from Africa to European or American banks. Occasionally, there'll be one person who is denied a visa for show, but ultimately, it's like the Kenyan. I was telling you, President Ruto got some donations, but then here, don't forget, now our domestic debt is ballooning, is blowing up. Why? So not only is the Kenya Kwisha regime stealing actual tax money, they are literally choking, they are literally hemorrhaging money which is meant to serve the private sector. They are wiping it out, they are sweeping it off the market, the domestic market. They are not only stealing literally tax money, they are now stealing your opportunities which you could be getting from the expanded business environment due to credit, because without credit you are sitting duck. No business can expand without credit. Credit is a backbone of expansion. So here you are celebrating Muzungus, that because they have thrown you handouts, but how much are they taking in return? For instance, we were talking about Standard Chartered the other day. We're talking about Citibank. Citibank have never even served the domestic consumer market. They have never. Them, they only loan to government and corporations, you understand? So you can imagine how much are they spiriting off. And every Muzungu is not a foreign investor. Most of them, 90%, are coming to steal, to loot. Yeah, they may, which is why if you listen to somebody called Dr. Shahid Bolsen, If you listen to him, he's smart. You can't compare him with a joker like Jordan Pearson. He's talking about democratization of corporate power. Corporates are the ones who influence policies, and who run the corporates in Kenya? It's fucking Muzungus.